Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on!
Live from New York City, New York, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York, Stuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to my mom's apartment in New York City. Having a good time.
Where
almost
exactly?
Done.
You almost revealed
I'm not
exactly
kidding.
where it was.
I was about to say, I was like, wait a second, I'm not going to hand out my mom's address. I can just Google search my name. I could track her down. Who knows what crazy stalkers are here on the podcast on Zoom. Anyway, I had a couple guys. They turned out to be nice guys. This is a true story.
Stalkers?
What? Oh,
Fans.
they might be listening, so I don't want to say it. But there was a car. My 9-year-old said, "Hey, Dad, there's a car that's in the ditch in the road. Maybe you should help them." And I was like, "Well, I don't have a winch in my truck." But I walked down the road, sort of like at the outskirts. There's a car in the road, like in a ditch. And I was like, "Oh, you guys need some help?" And I was trying to help them push their car. Yeah, I got stuck in a ditch. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to push you guys out, helping them, talking to them. And finally I just said, where are you guys from? They're like, oh, we're not far from here. And just stopped. And they stopped saying anything. Just stopped talking. And I was like, we just came looking for the podcast. I was like,
Really?
I was like, oh, I get it. There's
They
people
fell down in
who
the
actually
ditch.
will come to your house, peek around, look over their shoulder, then drive the car right into a ditch. Well, if you're listening out there, I love you.
But that was a little weird.
It's a little weird because I was the one helping them out of a ditch. And they must have been like looking back over their shoulder to drive into the ditch. It was a little strange. Anyway, good morning. I have 40 more pages left for this book and my last day in Brooklyn today.
Raghunath, even just I'm glad to hear you're almost done with the book, but I know you're just avoiding the important topic you're just trying to divert the topic. Where's Lolita?
Oh, Lolita, my mom's friend.
I don't see
my
Lolita.
mom's old South Indian friend. You know what? I went to breakfast with them. You know what I will say about my mom's friends?
Oh, you're changing the subject again. What happened?
Well,
to
she
Lolita?
wasn't at breakfast. I'm not gonna go look her up and knock on her door. I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Terry's.
Well, no, you get with your mother. You go over there with your mother.
Terry's son. I met you at breakfast the other day, and we sort of had some exchange about worshiping deities. Remember that?
She's like, "Who is Terry?"
Who is? Yeah, I'm not going to invade her aerospace and stalk a 95-year-old Indian lady. But if I see her today, I'll talk to her. We'll talk about deities. I don't know.
Are you still there tomorrow morning? Or we don't do the show.
I'm gonna come home
morning.
today. I think I'm gonna come home tonight.
Well, then you're not gonna be able to get her on the show.
No. But you know, I tell you, I was just sitting at that table with my mom in the morning and just asking people about their life. Oh my God, these people's had the most interesting lives. Whenever you meet somebody old, ask them about their life.
Okay.
I got one lady who escaped from like communist Hungary. One guy lived in the Andes Mountains for 5 years. You know, it's just like unbelievable stories.
Wow.
People got interesting lives, Kasuba. Ask the elderly about their life.
Talk to the old people.
Learn
Sit
their
down.
lessons. Learn
They,
their
they have so
life
much to
lessons.
share.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I want to unmute somebody today. It's Chapo's birthday today. Where's
We got
Chapo?
Chapo.
Mara.
Okay, let's unmute
Mara, can you
Chapo.
unmute?
This is a surprise for her. She didn't know we were
Chapo,
going to do.
unmute yourself. It's your birthday.
Where is she?
Where is she?
Chapo
Chapo.
G.
Oh, come on.
I asked her to unmute. I got her. There she is.
Hi, Chapo.
Hola, buenos días.
Buenos dias. How are you?
señorita Chapo.
Buenos días, profes. How are you?
We wanted to
Muy
unmute you,
bien.
bring you
Muy
on.
bien, muy bien.
You want to play? You want to play? Let's speak Spanglish. Okay, I can play that game too. How are you? Happy birthday.
Happy to be here. Happy to be around you. One more year, so everything perfect.
Let's play Meet the Zoomer. Chapo, you listen to the show every day, live.
Yes.
Not just every day, live.
Yes.
So we see you every day. What's your story? How did you get here? Refresh our memories.
How do I get to Krishna consciousness? That must be around 2016, 2015 in Caracas. It's a kind of a mystical story because I had a flyer handed out by a girl that I never saw again. Nobody knew in the temple.
Huh.
And she invited me
That was
for a yoga.
Radharani.
Could.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Interesting.
And she invited me to a yoga class. And then I went and I totally fell in love with the temple vibe. And then I started to go to the programs, kind of like being, maybe this is too much for me. But at the end, without even imagining, I was already serving, doing the programs, chanting the kirtan. So
Yeah, we're one of these previous life kind of people. I think,
It's one of those
like,
previous life people. You're one of these
Mm.
people like, singing, dancing, chanting, worshiping deities. This is for me.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like fighting it every step of the way. You're one of these people that just clicked. Look, you got to think. There's a lot of devotees like in 1972 that were really serious, and then they just died, and they were sincere. They take
And then it
birth like
came Chapo,
Chapus,
that's
you know.
Chapo. Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
it wasn't that
spontaneously-
easy because at the beginning the kirtan felt like a little weird, but at the end there was a click in the heart and it was perfect for me. I was chanting the programs of leading kirtan without even knowing about a single verse about the Bhagavad Gita or something like that. At the end, and with you since 2019 at the end, or no, 2020, I think. Yeah, September. I started to go deep into the philosophy and
How did you
started to
find out
recognize
about-
so many things.
How did you find out about Wisdom of the Sages?
I think it was because I was following Madhu, and he posted something with Raghu, and I followed him, and then I saw the podcast, and I joined in September 2020. Yes.
September 2020.
Well,
Yes.
I want to say
You've
happy
been here
birthday.
every day since.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said you've been here every day since.
Yeah, basically yes. And when I can be live, I'm sadly other, but I'm here.
Well, Chapo, there's a few things we can say. One is that she's a very good teacher of Bhakti philosophy, and she does courses in Spanish. That you should follow her on Instagram. What is it? What's your handle on Instagram? Chapo Yoga.
Chapo Yoga. Well, Chapo Yoga for everyone speaking English.
So that's
CAPU.
Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And but another thing, she's a Sage Group leader. She does a Spanish Sage Group. And for Chapo, we had to make change the rules because normally we just let 7 or 8 people in a Sage Group. And she's got 18 people in a group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy popular. But we were saying you can't do that. And she said no, because every week maybe 5 people don't show up.
Yeah.
So that shrinks it down a bit. And then she just records it and then she follows up and all those people get it. So everybody stays up to date. But it's a big popular group. People really like Chapu's classes.
If I'm serving correctly, that's because of you. Because you, Raghu, and your energy, and of course, Profi, because of you, because you are there trying to guide me in every single way. So I'm pretty thankful to you both, to Maraji, that every time I saw her, I want to kiss her until death. And everyone in this community, I really appreciate being around you. Association for me is everything. Even online, when I get it to see you in person, it's like unbelievable. So thank you very much for this service, for showing up every person in Zoom. It's pretty amazing. It's changing lives. Absolutely changing lives. Yes.
Well, thank you,
Are we
Chapo.
going to get to meet the dog in your home there?
Yeah,
Yes. Daniel, tráele un segundito, porfa.
she's
Yeah,
called
he was here trying to say hello, but I was like, yeah, but
And then
she's coming in a minute.
then Mare was going to bring Gus over to the camera, and then we're going to introduce them to each other.
Oh, you're gonna have an arranged marriage with the dog?
Arranged
Is that what you're
marriage
talking about?
Gus is
Friday.
a little old for marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. Gus is a little lazy right now. Not sure I
Look at
can
this
get him off the
dog.
couch. Aw.
Yeah,
Gus
hello,
is-
Haribol, familia.
What kind of dog is that? What do you call that?
It's a
Abduction? A sausage
Okay,
dog?
right.
Yes.
Sausage.
vegan sausage.
Yeah,
Chapo,
vegan
happy birthday. Glad you're part of our community. You're an inspiration to so many, and we love you.
I
Great
love
soul,
you.
Chapo.
Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank you.
Haribo.
Thank you, Chapo G.
Ah, that was nice. Miss Mara, any quick announcements? Miss Mara G?
Yeah, Cult of Cain Asana class today at 10:30 a.m.
Ooh.
Back to recovery group meetings at 12:30 and 1. And also it's Chapu's birthday. It's also Ariana Lindbergh's birthday today as well.
Get
So
out of
happy
What?
here.
Ariana
Yeah.
Lindbergh. Haribo.
Oh, hey, whoa.
Gardener extraordinaire. At
Yes.
Super Soul Farm.
Permaculture princess.
The permaculture
Yeah.
princess. Oh, well, happy birthday, everybody. What's the date today? December.
December 15th.
Okay.
Number 15.
Okay.
Okay, Rogan.
Uh,
I'm sorry that it's
we
not your
gotta,
birthday too, Raghunath. Should we celebrate you anyway?
My birthday's coming. There's plenty of room for my
Okay.
celebration. I'm one of those guys. You're gonna know when it's my birthday because
All right.
I'll be announcing it.
Less
All right,
than a month.
Costuba, January 11th, Bubba.
Yeah, I know.
January 11th. Okay, I got a quote from you, my friends.
Not
It's a
from me.
nugget. It's a nugget.
Who's it
It's
from?
from Marcus Aurelius, your friend in mind,
Marcus.
the Stoic emperor. He was an emperor, right?
He was an emperor of Rome.
of Rome. Yeah. Here's the nugget.
You know, and all these things that he wrote down, he from what I understand, he wasn't planning on sharing this. This is kind of like his own private journaling, you know, his own private writing.
He wasn't doing it to sort of gain followers and try to let it
I
go
don't think-
viral.
He wasn't, as far as I know, he wasn't posting any of it.
It's, it's so funny. We're so desperate for validation. We'll do anything, we'll do anything to get followers. And we think we're finding our worth from our followers. And it's like interesting because no matter how many followers you get, you're still never going to be satisfied. Lord Chaitanya said, it's not any number of followers.
Yeah.
It was the exact words that were translated in the 70s from Lord Chaitanya's teaching. That there's no satisfaction there. But it's like in the old days, you just sort of go out and just try to make some friends. Nowadays, it's like, I need the whole world to give me validation. Everybody's got to be like a political pundit. Everyone's got to give their opinion. Can't you just like be
Be a
this
musician,
world?
be sexy,
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah, God, it's exhausting. It must exhaust like the level of collective exhaustion.
We're all
from just
exhausted. We all need to take a
posting
break.
things.
What if like the world just said, okay, we're all going to turn it off for like a week, like just
Yeah,
shut it down.
yeah. Mara, we're gonna make some more strict rules in our household.
Okay.
Okay, sound good?
Yeah, I'm in.
She's completely detached anyway. She
problem.
doesn't care. That's her smartphone, those knitting needles. That's her. She goes
Well,
right
you know,
back to
that's
it.
what we're gonna have to be. That's one of the rules, Mara. No more knitting for a week.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put down your knitting needles. You're too
Okay.
attached. Okay. It's Mara. She's so all right.
Marcus Aurelius, what he's got to say.
Marcus Aurelius, ready?
Yeah.
Interesting character here. It's time you realize that you have something in you more powerful and miraculous than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet.
No, that's the social media right there. Because
Yeah,
everyone's
you
dancing
just,
like.
that's why I said it.
But people are actually dancing on social media.
People
That's
are
like
just
one of the
like
big things.
dancing like a puppet
Yeah,
to gain followers. It's
that's
time
one of the
you,
main things. It's dancing
it's,
on this on
yeah,
social media, right? TikTok and all that.
yeah. It's time you realize that you have something in you more powerful and miraculous than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet. Because purport by Costuba. What do you got to say about
Let
that,
me
Costuba?
start. Well, of course, this dancing like a puppet. That's probably straight out of our Shastra. That the material energy makes us dance like a dancing dog. It's said, right?
Yeah.
That if you have a little piece of meat and you have a little like Chapo's little dog right there, a little sausage dog. If you, I'm sure it's a good dog. But if you held a little piece of meat, it'll go like running over there, and then you make it go over this way. It'll stand up on his feet and it'll do whatever you want. It'll just become a fool for you. And what we don't realize is we think we're making all our own decisions and expressing our rugged individualism and our freedom. Really, from a broader perspective, those with deeper insight, those with a zoomed out perspective can see we're just doing the same. We're just chasing stuff, just dancing like dogs. But what you want to say something? I see you
Yeah.
leaning.
Well, I was thinking it's such a great analogy, dancing like a puppet, because in the material in this world, we have to pick who the puppeteer is, right? And generally, it's our senses. I want him, or I want her, or I want to get married, I want a family, I want to make money. So we have desires and passions that are making us jump through so many hoops in the material world. But then you also hear, then there's our mind, right? There's subtle desires. There's a desire to be distinct and cool and sexy, all these desires in hopes to become happy in the material world. Then there's Prabhupada, who's on a boat to America, who's saying, let me be your puppet, Krishna.
Yeah.
Let me be your puppet. And if you want this puppet to dance, let me dance, let me dance, let me dance. We wrote that in a very beautiful, poetic, like, I am yours, make me dance. So we can call Krishna, we can call divine energy, we can call source into our life to work through us. That's what we're trying to do. Whenever we talk to somebody about Krishna consciousness or spiritual life, we're actually in prayer trying to say, Krishna, speak through my body. Help me explain it to this person. And sometimes when you're speaking, you don't even know how the words came out of your mouth. Ever have that experience? Like, I don't even know where this is coming from. It's like if we really get into the spiritual flow, Krishna starts using our body. If that's our sincere prayer, Krishna, use me like a puppet in this world. Take fully control of my thoughts, of my actions, and let me be able to become a channeler of you, but take control. Otherwise, we're just dancing in the material world to attract people to us, and it's quite a pretty sad puppet show at that.
It's like I get it that from the narrow perspective, which is what we're kind of born with and provided, that it can feel like someone said, well, why would you want to be an instrument of any other being? And why not? Isn't it that we're meant to make our own? It's not that you're
right.
It's actually really the platform of freedom, where you're not being controlled by your mind and senses, but the idea of being an instrument of God's grace. The idea, it's there's a phrase that I've always really loved, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately, from the Brahma Samhita. It's a beautiful verse that maybe I might, let me see if I pulled it up. I did pull it up. The verse Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratabhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kalabma Bhuto Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It's a verse that's describing the spiritual realm, the highest pinnacle of the spiritual realm. I worship Govinda, Krishna, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, right? Radha's his own energy, right? But with her own independent existence and consciousness, but she's the personification of divine love, So he says, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities. So she's just doing beautiful. She's got the power to manifest in all these beautiful artistic ways her will, her love, in the company of her confidants, the Sakis, the other gopis, who are embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form. And I always love this phrase: permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. Right. So that's the idea that we're walking around not experiencing our own nature and what it's like to have God's energy just like fully alive in us, to be permeated and vitalized in that way. But when you feel that, you feel an ecstasy that's so far beyond any of the petty kind of pleasures of this world. And this is what the sages realized, right? They felt that they were aware of this. And so it's kind of like if you can grasp this idea that we're all not these bodies, we're not even these subtle minds, which are just, both of them are nothing but trouble. Who amongst us has not been
Did you just
plagued?
say nothing but trouble?
They're nothing but trouble. Who amongst us what are you thinking about, some old rap song?
No, that's pretty funny. Your
Oh, okay.
My stupid mind is nothing but trouble.
It's nothing but trouble.
Just like if you see some kid, that kid's nothing but trouble. That's something my mom would say. He's nothing but trouble. My mind is nothing but trouble.
Yeah. What, I don't know if you knew that, if you remember that old rap song. Back when rap was young, there was one.
Nothing
I don't even know
but
who
trouble.
It said,
Jam Master Jay.
it was like a boys against the girls kind of thing. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but boys of the world are nothing but trouble. And then the
boys. Is this the real Roxanne?
I don't think so.
Roxanne, I'm gonna be your man. You can't go. I don't think that you're tense, but you're the matter with no experience. You should know.
All right. So, but yeah, our mind, our body, both are nothing but trouble. And it's only because we identify with them that we don't feel our own power. But we are made of not the inferior energy like the body and mind, but we're composed of Krishna's superior energy. There is not one thing in this world that we can see, including even the sun, that we are not more brilliant and effulgent than, because we're made of Krishna's superior energy. But we've lost touch with that. And what bhakti provides for us is an opportunity like that. We all go on our own kind of hero's journey, right? Where there's an adventure for us in life. There's a challenge for us in life to see if we can overcome our own lower nature, and experience our true nature again. We were, I think a few weeks ago, we were discussing hero's journeys, right? Where you're kind of like, there's the ordinary mundane life that we live, and then there's a call to an adventure. And this is the call, right? Uncover your true nature, and at first the hero kind of refuses the call, that we're hesitant, or it's too challenging or whatever. And then we meet a mentor, and the mentor gives the instructions, the guidance that one needs to take up the challenge. And then there's tests that one goes through, and eventually you approach the innermost cave, like you come right to the threshold, of the of winning the battle, and there's something here to make all of our lives very meaningful, to overcome our lower nature, to become free of all of our petty grievances and all of our our greed, our lust, our animosity towards every living being, to become, like you were saying yesterday, like really being completely transformed to be the embodiment of divine love that we really are all underneath. And so that's, that gives life such meaning. And Marcus Aurelius, like, he may not have had we're so fortunate that somehow we've been given this full picture of the complete evolution of what it can look like. In the spiritual realm. We can read about that in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. We can read about that in the Brahma Samhita. We can read about that in incredible books like the Brihad Bhagavatam Rita and so on. But Marcus Aurelius, I can see he must have been a very noble person and a very deep thinker. And I can see is catching on, that we have something more powerful and miraculous within us.
Mm.
It's more powerful and miraculous than all the things that affect us. And he could see it and make us dance like a puppet, steal away our freedom, make us fools, make us run around this world like fools.
Mm. Yes.
What?
I'm reflecting on all the foolish things I've done in my life. Yep, I was dancing like a fool there.
All the time. All the time. Not just you, me too. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So, right now, King Chitraketu is, wiping the tears away from his shriveled face and hearing the truth. And this is the part, that's the mentor part where it's like, now you have to take up the call, and cross the initial thresholds to that deeper spiritual awareness.
Yeah, we're in it right now in this 10th in this 6th canto.
Great stuff. Yeah.
Great stuff.
I told you guys 6th canto was going to be cool, right?
We're going to get
7th
preached
canto
to by
also.
a little boy who was brought back to life.
So amazing.
Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva devim saraswatim vyastam tato jayam. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is every means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Asta prayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatamurandasya Jnananjan Salakya Chaksuran Midatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16. What text are we on, Mara?
Yeah. Canto 6, Chapter 16, Text 11.
Text 11. Okay, great. Every time when I'm in the studio reading my audiobook, and every time I'm starting a new phase, I say Om Jnanatamurandasya. I'm channeling teachers to speak through me. So I'm doing it with the appropriate. So whatever the message already is written down, whoever reads it can get something even more subtle and with more depth. I like the idea of spiritual memoirs, even if they're just like hearing how Chapo came to Bhakti. I'm sure you could tease that out into a beautiful story, but you tend to, it never gets old hearing people's spiritual journey.
True.
It's such a great topic, from autobiography of a yogi to Radhanath Swami's book to Siddhartha and things like this. So anyway, So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I always every time I have a pause, I go back and I do these prayers or these pranams, appreciations for our teachers, and have them pray that they speak through me. Okay.
So this is one last instruction from the Son, the resurrected Son.
The resurrected Son. Yes. You want resurrection? We got resurrection for you.
Right here.
Text 11, ready?
Yeah.
No, you got to just imagine a little child waking up from the dead and now just laying all this truth, not on just the king, but everybody in this room is just like, what? They're all group, right? It's not just one guy said, I saw a miracle. It's like a whole group of people, of miracles happening right in front of an entire group of people, family members and people of the court,
royal
ministers,
entourage.
A royal entourage, just like, what is going on?
This is blowing our minds.
This is blowing our minds. This is something like
of course,
next time there's like a social function, you're at a wedding or something, you're like, you're never going to believe what happened. Oh, we were there and someone died and it came back to life. And this is not something you talk about, this would make it to your memoir.
And of course, I still want to hear what's going to happen with the evil co-wives.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Supreme Lord, Atma, creator, the creator of cause and effect, does not accept the happiness and distress that result from fruitive actions. He is completely independent of having to accept a material body. And because he has no material body, he is always neutral.
Interesting.
Living
So he's
entity.
beyond the laws that we operate under.
The living entities, being part and parcel of the Lord, possesses his qualities in a minute quantity. Therefore, one should not be affected by lamentation. You know, it's good to point out this simple teaching of Lord Chaitanya. You know, a lot of people know it, but a lot of people may not know it. This idea of achintya beta beta tattva. And if you don't know this, this is a great thing to know and put in your pocket about the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya and our lineage. Is you'll hear a lot, especially in yoga circles, that we are one with God. People will say that. It's not that God is out there and we are over here. We're actually one with God. And there'll be a debate. No. God is the Father. We are not God. And Lord Chaitanya explained it very, very poignantly, very simply too. We are like a drop from the ocean. We are qualitatively one with God, right? But quantitatively, we're tiny. And this tiny piece can be put into illusion. And it's the waking up process to remember I actually am part of something bigger. I am a divine being. That is the goal of the yoga process, that waking up part. So yes, in one sense, we are God, but we're actually different from God also. We have the ability to fall into illusion. And our whole job here is to figure out who I am, why am I here, and don't mistake the gross mind and body, which is just like it's almost like carrying a big wet blanket around on top of you. You know, it's like a giant meat puppet that I'm struggling in this world with, right? And it's pulling me in different places. And then finally, we learn how to use it. And then finally, when we shed it, it's not even a big deal anymore. We're not even, we realize the body's been like a burden to us. The mind's been a burden to us when we actually fully connect with our spiritual self. So it's nice to hear like this is actually being taught right in this verse.
It's right there.
Text 12, Sri Sukadeva Goswami continued. When the conditioned soul, the jiva, in the form of Maharaj Chitraketu's son, had spoken in this way and then left, Chitraketu and the other relatives of the dead son were all astonished. Of course they were.
Hold it. Did he get up and walk away, or did he die again?
I think he just died again.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think he was
just
like,
left.
and scene. And it just takes off.
Where are you
Thus-
going?
Where are you going?
You know my parents.
If you think about it, at that point, he could have done anything. It's like, I'm going
He
to die
could've-
anyway. I'm going to
easily
jump out
could've
the
done it.
window, see what that feels
Yeah.
like. I think he just went back to bed. I'm like, good night.
It's not it.
Okay. Thus, they cut off the shackles of their affection, which was due to their relationship with him, and gave up their lamentation.
That can almost sound like, oh no, they gave up their affection, but it really means that they gave up their illusory attachments, you know, and it freed them from their grief and their suffering.
Amazing. Huh? This is
Yeah.
the knowledge that will actually solve all your problems. This
Right here.
mystical wisdom right here. Text
Yeah.
13. After the relatives had discharged their duties by performing the proper funeral ceremonies and burning the dead child's body,
Not coming back now.
right? That's a thing, you know, and there's something about burning that body. They say it helps the subtle body leave, right? But it's also there's some type of conclusion. Like this
Closure.
is not right. This is not the
All
person
the
any longer.
elements have dispersed and taken on entered new forms.
Right.
Yeah.
Mara, when you were with your mom when she died, right?
Yeah.
Were you with her when she actually left her body?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you feel like she has left us? Did you have any spiritual? I know that was before you got into bhakti and stuff like that. Did you feel like she's leaving, or how did you interpret that? Sorry to put you on the hot seat here.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a sense of like her soul is gone. Now it's just her body. Like even before I was into Bhakti, before like it's just like the life force, this like what makes her her is now gone. And now we have this like corpse, like,
Right.
you know, but it's like, it really like, it's hard to explain, but it's like really breaks your attachment to the body in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's something about this. There's
but
something.
it's like energetically, you could feel it like within the room, even.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Didn't mean
Yeah.
to.
No, I always thought you were going to get into, okay, tell us energetically how she was in the room. now we're getting into paranormal.
How long was she in the room for? Did
What did she say
objects
to you?
move? Did lights switch on and off?
I don't think you finished this verse, Virgo.
All right, text. What text?
Still 13.
13,
Why don't you
okay.
just read it again?
After the relatives had discharged their duties by performing the proper funeral ceremonies and burning the dead child's body, they gave up affection that leads to illusion. The affection leads to illusion. Lamentation, fear, and pain. Such affection is undoubtedly difficult to give up, but they gave it up very easily. When
Because
something
it
like
hurt
that
all of them.
happens, I guess it's it's much easier to give up the affection.
Yeah.
You know.
They were at their peak Gyanic, awareness after that
Sure.
lecture that they just received.
Well, imagine if the person, and this happens maybe most of the time, someone you love dies and you're not even with them. And then there's like, man, I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to have some parting words with them. I didn't, if I only said this, I want to do it again. I want a do-over. I wish we could, go back to where we were when I was last with them. There must be a lot of remorse.
People have a lot of
regret.
ruining.
Why didn't I do this? I never told that person I love them recently. Send some text messages, people, after the show. Tell people you love them. Let's develop that strong affection so we can ultimately break it.
Okay. Now
But
we're going
I'm
to hear
just
about
saying that type of thinking, it complicates the remorse even more and the affection even more.
That's right.
Right.
Now we're going to hear about the co-wives, those who poisoned the young child.
Co-wives, what are they going to say through all this? After the relative, Queen
14.
Krita-Dyuti's co-wives, who had secretly poisoned the child, were very much ashamed, and they all lost their bodily luster. While lamenting, O king, they remembered the instructions of Angira and gave up their ambition to bear children.
Wow.
Following the directions of the Brahmanas.
I mean, they couldn't. For a long time, they had wanted to, and they weren't able to, right?
Right.
So now they're just like,
just accepting it.
They just accept Krishna's will.
Following the directions of the Brahmanas, they went to the bank of the Yamuna, where they bathed and atoned for their sinful activities.
Okay. Good for them.
How about a confession?
I wonder if they did. Maybe they did. Who knows?
Maybe, no.
He wasn't your son anyway, right? So,
it was.
So now I feel comfortable coming out and saying, we killed that person who wasn't your son.
Thus enlightened by the instruction of the Brahmanas, Angira and Narada, King Chitraketu became fully aware of spiritual knowledge as an elephant becomes free from a muddy reservoir of water. King Chitraketu came out of the dark well of family life.
Powerful.
Oh, boy. Sometimes it takes something powerful to really like totally like get you into a whole new consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
To bring you to your next
usually,
level.
Probably usually, right?
Yeah. And I think the big thing is, can I keep that clarity? Like if you know somebody that dies that's close to you, it's as if you get like a glimpse of what it's like to be a liberated soul. You're thinking, what is life about? This could have happened to me. We could die at any minute. Life is so temporary. I want to start prioritizing what's important to me in my life. I want to live every day to the fullest. And then like 2 days later, you're like, well, back to work. It's like all the insight we get just fades away. If we can keep those important, motivational moments that come from tragedy or can come from great loss or come from great betrayal or pain. That's the power of bhakti, is to take that tragedy and use it to propel you forward in your life, to make you just take I'm going to take a hairpin turn on my life, or I'm going to take a hard left here. I was going down a crazy path. And that's the beauty of hearing wisdom on a regular basis, then hearing about tragedy, and then maybe experiencing some loss.
Yeah.
It can actually change you up.
Those kind of experiences they would fit into the kind of the category that I was talking about earlier on that hero's journey, where you have to cross different thresholds. You know, these are major events in life that they can either just be painful or depressing, or they can open up the doors for us. You know, they can be the points that we cross over to the next level of awareness. Okay, right. You're okay.
I'm thinking about people who still suffer with lamentation for loss. And sometimes they suffer their entire life. And it's like, it's almost like it's holding them, like sort of like, ever see these guys who do the athletic running, they have gigantic rubber bands around their waist, and they're trying to run. And it's like, it's holding us to our past almost, unless we can learn to sort of like free that loss and let the soul, it's probably not good for the soul too, to have such strong attachments. What do you think?
I would imagine there are probably subtle ways that could be problematic. We could bring Teresa Caputo on the show and see if she's got any thoughts about it. Long Island medium.
Teresa Caputo is the Saturday Night Live Long Island.
But I think she's a real person, actually.
Oh, really?
I think so.
The Long Island mystic.
Long Island medium.
Long Island medium. Somebody YouTube search that one. Okay. Does anyone know of Vinny? Okay.
I know it's Salvatore.
Someone's got to we just got to post some of these things on our Instagram just so people understand our personal jokes.
A little bit, it helps to be New Yorker to that one, but
to fully appreciate, yeah.
Fully appreciate.
Okay, continuing on.
Text 17.
Is there a Salvatore? Does anyone have a
How many of you have a grandfather
Sal?
that died named Sal? Yes. Every hand goes up at one. Short for Salvatore. Oh, that hand goes up too.
Okay. What number are we on?
17.
17.
No, I think it's 16.
No, 16.
Oh, I'm sorry, 16.
The king bathed in even the king bathed in the water of the Yamuna. I guess that's what you do after a death.
That's what you do after a funeral.
And according to the prescribed duties, he offered oblations of water to the forefathers and demigods.
You know, that's part of the beauty of the ritual in the Vedic cultures. You do the funeral. You know, in an American funeral, you go to the funeral, and then what do you all do after? You kind of go to some kind of restaurant or something, or you just kind of disperse in some kind of
to a weird party of sorts.
Yeah, but here, you know, no, you go into that sacred river that you go to every day for deeper spiritual wisdom, and you go in there and you go into the water one person, you come out a little bit of a different person. You know, you leave something behind in the water. You know.
I want to go swimming I want to go swimming at a funeral.
Yeah, well, you know, these rituals are brilliantly conceived, you know, by sages. They understood how the mind works, and not beyond that, they understood how the river works, you know.
Thus, 16. Very gravely controlling his senses, he then offered his respects and obeisances to the sons of Lord Brahma, Angira and Narada. It helps to have two great sages at a funeral too.
Definitely.
Thereafter, being very much pleased with Chitraketu, who was a self-controlled devotee and surrendered soul, Narada, the most powerful sage, spoke to him in the following transcendental instructions.
Now he's going to give him the mantra. He made him a promise. I don't know if you remember that not long ago, right? He said, I'm going to give you a mantra. This is the end of the last chapter. And you're going to chant it for 7 days, and then you're going to see Lord Vishnu.
O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead.
This is the mantra that Narada gave to Chichiketu.
Chichiketu, the following mantra. Oh, and this is it, but in English. O Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are addressed by the Omkara, Pranava, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord Vasudev, I meditate upon you. O Lord Prajumna, Lord Aniruddha, and Lord Shankarshan, I offer my respectful obeisances. O reservoir of spiritual potency, O supreme bliss, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are self-sufficient and most peaceful. O ultimate truth, one without a second, you are realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, and are therefore the reservoir of all knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
You know, it's a prayer. It's offering respect. Ideally, it's done with a feeling of love, with a feeling of devotion. But at the same time, it's education. It's like it's reflection. It's reflection on how the world works. You know, it's meant to. By meditating like this, it's meant to gradually get us in a state of mind where we move through the world, not having to remind ourselves of this exactly, but we in awareness of this, right? Always being in awareness of this.
Do you have the Sanskrit in front of you? Is it an easy one to chant, or is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't. Let's see. Yeah.
When you got some beautiful melody for it, chant that mantra, Kastuva.
Well, it starts Om Namastubhyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Nirudhaya Namasankarsanaya Cha Namo Vijnana Matraya Paramananda Murtaye Atmaramaya Shantaya Nivritta Dvaita Drishtaye. That's what it sounds like. Something like that. I don't know how well I
did. Someone asked on the message board, is there a way to move forward if you have someone that loves you that dies? Or is it just there are people who's not a big deal for them to move forward. There's some people who are lamenting tremendously. Would you say a person who's attached like that, it's just their karmic state of being? Or is this process of hearing truth on a regular basis, hearing wisdom, literature, hearing stories like this, having a sadhana, is this what we do? Or do you have some secrets yourself?
Yeah, this is what we do. The sage is coming to he's the king. So people come to him, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, us ordinary people, sometimes we have to go and find people, you know? So, yeah, you know, when one's going through grief, ideally, you're already prepared that you have people in your life that give you guidance. You have people in your life that you have deep trust in, that you have faith in the depth of their goodness and depth of their knowledge and depth of their awareness. So it's natural when your world is getting shaken up that you go to them. And that's what, you know, sometimes I think back to Radhanath Swami shares a couple stories. One was when he was in the Delhi airport and a woman approached him who had some high government role in India that had to do with the ecology or the environment. And she kind of came on initially like, you know, what are you sannyasis doing? You're these swamis, you walk around, you don't do anything, you know? And he sat and explained to her, well, even if we cleaned everything up today, if our hearts aren't purified, if our minds aren't purified, we're just going to pollute the whole thing over again in no time. So you have your job and I have my job. And he has another story like that goes back to like he was in some university in Mumbai giving some program, and you know how college kids they get up on their high horse and they start to try to tear people down, and you know, you sannyasis, you do nothing for the world, you know, like, you know, and he just spoke to him in such a way where he said, you know, If everybody became like you, the whole world would fall apart. He's like, you're right. If everyone did become like me, it would. But, but you have your role and I have my role. And so here, Narada and Angira are playing a particular role. We can see at this point, at this moment, it was the most vital role.
Mhm.
And we should, and we all need in our world people that live a Brahminical life, that their life is to ponder the wisdom in these books and to live it and to demonstrate it. And when people see that, their faith in the same teachings grows. And then when they need it most, when they go through that trial in life, then then again, exactly what we've been speaking about. You're cracked open from the grief, and at that point, when that knowledge is spoken, there's such a potential for it to take root in you in a way that it never has before.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more detailed things you can do for grief in particular, but the general path, I would say dealing with the grief without seeing the soul as eternal, um, without hearing wisdom on a regular basis, without having a sadhana, it can be a little futile. It can be like a Band-Aid or an aspirin, but this is actually you're relinquishing that control of the person and the control of the situation and seeing actually this person's moving on to greater things. And this is going to propel me in greater ways as well. Loss isn't loss for a person practicing bhakti. Loss is, it's gain disguised as loss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir.
Again, the rituals that we're talking about, to perform the ritual, to chant the hymns that are chanted at the time of the rituals and hear them and absorb them, to hear someone speak during, a wise person speak during the ritual, to watch the body burn, and then to bathe in the river and come out. All of that is meant to help you pass through this threshold. It's designed that way, and it's powerful.
Yeah. You've been to a body burning?
I've seen bodies burn.
Yeah.
I've never I've never seen someone that I've known. I've never seen their body burn, but I've seen other bodies burn.
We went to the burning ghats in Varanasi this year.
Yeah.
Saw it and there was just many fires. It's going 24/7, many fires going on.
Yeah.
It's like sober. It's sobering.
Well, that's what they say. Burning is learning.
Burning is learning. Okay.
Burning is learning.
Text 18 and 19. Oh no, text 20. Perceiving your personal bliss, you are always transcendental to the waves of material nature. Therefore, my lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You are the supreme controller of the senses, and your expansions of form are unlimited. You are the greatest, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. The words and mind of the conditioned soul.
We're already 5:31.
Oh shoot!
You're getting absorbed.
You're
flowing,
or I'm just oblivious.
You're flowing.
Mara, how are you?
I'm good. I got some good takeaways today.
Oh, she's frozen. I was like wondering.
No, she's not. She's not frozen.
Oh, it's like she's sitting so still. How are you, Mara? Talk to us.
I'm good. I got some good takeaways. Talk to the elders.
Talk to the elders.
Talk to the elders. Talk to them. Pick their brains.
Talk to the animals.
Choose your puppet. choose your puppeteer wisely.
A good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Our senses and mind are nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
The material.
Now I looked it up. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh.
Right.
And then I think there was a girl response to it. I think they did Girls Are Nothing But Trouble, and then I think some girls responded.
Yeah, because back then they'd be a song
used to
and
do
a
that.
response song, like the Roxanne, the real Roxanne, Roxanne's Revenge. That's how they rapped in the old days.
That's
before it
right.
got to be gangster rap. Rap was fun. It was like you're just talking to your friends in a song.
The material world is a sad puppet show.
Oh,
Material world
sad
is
puppet,
sad.
sad clown.
Sad.
Are you still afraid of
scared?
clowns?
Still afraid of clowns? Hey, go on.
Use the tragedy to recalibrate your life.
Recalibrate. Love
Recalibrate.
Loss is gain in disguise for the devotee.
that. Wait, loss is gain.
It's gain in disguise.
Yes.
There's a
gain.
better one. Loss isn't loss for a person practicing bhakti.
Oh, yeah.
Loss
It's
is
a little bit better.
Okay. It's a little more fluid.
Yeah. Burning is learning.
Learning is learning.
Burning is learning.
Sadhana is in happiness and sadhana in distress.
Nice.
Tragedy can help you take a hard left.
Tragedy can make you take a hard left.
Yeah. And
Mm.
you want resurrection? We got resurrection.
We got resurrection.
That was a good
We
one.
got no resurrection. We got all kinds of resurrections.
Jamie Step Dojo says, yeah, the band was UTFO. That's who it was. The Real Rocks
No,
band.
well, maybe. The Real Roxanne.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us here on this Friday. Oh, wow. Tomorrow's Sleep In. Sleep In Saturday. That's good. Are we going to do the show tomorrow?
We're doing a Sunday, right?
Yeah, let's shift Q&A day to Sunday and no show tomorrow.
Because I'm traveling.
Yeah, because
Back.
you'll either be home late.
I'll be home late.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Do I have your blessings, Kastuba? Do I have your blessings? Not Kastuba's frozen.
Yeah, because Stuba gave us his
frozen.
blessings.
All right, so no show tomorrow, show on Sunday. Sorry, guys. What am I going to do on Saturday without all these people? I've been walking, Kastuba. I've been walking across the Brooklyn Bridge every day. It's
You
great.
gonna call Jiva G?
We call Jiva G, see how she's doing.
Give
miss
my
her.
regards to Broadway. To the
I
Brooklyn
see,
Bridge.
I see a lot of
Brooklyn.
me in Jiva G.
Okay.
We're both,
You both drive me crazy. But I love you both dearly.
oh, Krishna. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get that.
You're two of my oldest friends. You're probably my two oldest friends.
Wow, that's pretty interesting, huh?
At least the two oldest friends that I'm in touch with regularly, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you two. It's you two.
You, Paramananda, Shakti Sutta, my friend, yeah. I didn't really know that well in the old days. I just knew of her.
You and Jiva G.
She was a character. She's still a character.
Character.
She's a character.
Little punk rock girl going around.
Causing some trouble.
Sitting on the stage.
She's got that sort of I'm a troublemaker, sort of like talking.
Almost
back
every
in
photograph of
someone's
her back
face.
then has one finger in the air.